So it's official, Fantasy Rugby is back, and the World Cup cannot get off to a better start than by introducing the best game ever in fantasy. I'm super excited, as you can probably tell. This World Cup is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have huge upsets. One side of the draw is going to knock out some of the top 5 teams in the world, and then the other draw are going to have England, Wales, Australia, Fiji, Argentina on it, who are probably going to get to a semi-final. So it's going to be huge. If you are new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on, because we're going to have regular fantasy videos. The first few probably just explaining the game and how it works, because this fantasy there's different points calculations and slightly different rules. But obviously if you're familiar with me, then sit back, like the videos and comment as well. So the full game is out. I'll leave a link below down in the description, and I'll also leave a link to the JG Rugby League. You're all welcome to join. Let's compete against each other and see who comes out on top. For those of you who have played fantasy before, it is obviously going to be slightly similar. However, the points calculations and some of the rules are a bit different. So let's run through how to play now. As we all know, we have to select a team of 15 players. There's no bench in this fantasy, as opposed to a Six Nations where you had a super sub. We get a budget of 100, let's call it stars or credits, and you can only pick a maximum of 3 players per nation. But as teams start to get knocked out in the knockout stages, then this is obviously going to increase, and we'll have the ability to pick 4, 5, 6 players from one team. You've got to pick a captain each game, because your captain actually earns you double points. Something new and innovative they've added this year is these boosters. So what these are is essentially you get 3 kind of lifelines. So you get a triple captain, a defensive king and a super kicker. Now you can use any of these once per knockout stage and once per the group stage. And obviously they'll reset once the group stage is over. For example, the first game, I'm looking to probably captain someone from Ireland because they've got Romania first game. I might want to say, let's use my booster and triple the captain. You can do this the same for defensive king. Might want to pick a back rower who you know are going to get a lot of tackles, and yeah, same for the kicker, looking to target 10s there. So the way we can score points in this year's fantasy are obviously going to be heavily affected by those boosters, but they've also changed how we earn points, which I'll go through later in the video. Something they're also continuing is the ability to make unlimited transfers each game week. You can even change your players right up to the game that they play, even if the game week has already started. As mentioned earlier, there is obviously a cap of maximum of 3 players per team. This is only in the pool stage. Once we get to the quarterfinals, teams get knocked out, so there'll be less pool to pick from. So in the quarters, we're restricted to a maximum of 4 players. In the semis, it's going to be 5, and then in the final and the bronze final, it's going to be 6. Something really important to note with boosters, we obviously get 3 boosters for the pool stage and 3 for the knockout stages. But you can only play 1 booster at a time. So you have to be really tactical for when you want to play your boosters. For example, I'm looking to triple my captain first game week, but then I cannot use my super kicker in that first game week as well. So you just have to be really tactical on when you want to use your boosters. For the super kicker and defensive king, you're essentially just doubling the points scored for the player that you pick. But do bear in mind that, say if your super kicker scores a conversion, they'll get double points for that, but if they miss a conversion, they'll also get double minus points for that as well. So something to bear in mind. As I said previously, the point system is a little bit different, and they've added quite a few negative and positive point changes in here. For example, for each line out 1 on own throw, we get a point, but there's also other changes. For example, for a scrum 1 outright, the whole front row get 3 points. And for each penalty conceded, that's also a minus point. And for each error like a knock on or forward pass, that's also a minus point. So I guess there's a lot more room for error, but there's also a lot more room to win points as well. So if we take a look at the actual game then, this is the interface. I'm on a browser here on my laptop, but they also do have a mobile app, or you could just easily do it on your phone. If you've played Fantasy before, it's actually quite similar to the way it looks. There's obviously 15 players on the pitch. We don't actually have a bench, but search capabilities are pretty easy. You can search by player name there, or search by any other category. Something that I really like in this year's Fantasy is how easy it is to see the next fixtures. So as you can see here, Johnny Sexton has Romania. I'll probably want to pick him over Jalibert, for example. We can also filter by value, so the value of each player, or how many people in the game have selected them. So we all know Dupont is going to be really valuable in credits, but probably a lot of people are going to select him as well. However, we want to stay on track with the second choice Japanese player because the first one is actually injured, but we might not have known about that unless we went on the select category here. Also, time for a good plug, and it is down in the description below. If you want to join the JG Rugby League to compete against me and other viewers, then come join. It's just a load of fun. I recommend joining lots of other leagues as well. If you couldn't tell already, I'm super excited for this year's World Cup, and especially Fantasy Rugby. It's kind of my speciality. I hope all of you will enjoy this series. I know my previous viewers have loved it, the Six Nations and Autumn Nation series. So, like I said, if you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel, like and comment. I always reply to each comment as well. And we're building a pretty good community as well, almost 2,000 subscribers. So come on the journey. If you like rugby, then subscribe. This World Cup probably has the makings to be one of the biggest World Cups ever. It's in France, they do things in style, but also there's going to be plenty of upsets with the draw. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video very, very soon. And as a sneak peek for the next video, if you've watched to the end, you might see some of my team selection for round 1.